Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to dive in. Today we're going deep, really deep into Psalm 12.
All right, let's do it. Psalm 12.
Yeah, it's this ancient poem, but you know what? It's like shockingly relevant to like everything we're dealing with today.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Seriously, it talks about truth, justice,
Right.
what happens when like those things start to disappear.
Right, and how we react to that. It's powerful stuff.
Exactly. And it's like straight up raw emotion. I mean, have you read this thing?
Yeah, the psalmist, he's not holding back. Like, he's crying out to God, right? Almost desperate. Good people are vanishing, he says. Integrity, nowhere to be found.
It's like he's living in 2023, you know?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
haven't you ever felt that way? Like, surrounded by dishonesty, everyone's spinning the truth.
All the time. And it's like,
Yeah.
who do you trust, right? Who's got the real story?
Exactly. And Psalm 12, it doesn't just, like, complain about it. It paints this picture of these, like, wicked people.
Oh, yeah. Flattering lips, boasting tongues, but it's all hollow, right?
Total BS.
Yeah, and there's this real sense of, like, arrogance. Like, who is our master? It's like they think they're above it all.
That line always gets me. They think they can get away with anything.
Totally. And, you know, it's like those words written so long ago, but it's happening now, right?
Right. Think about it. Social media, the news,
Oh, it's everywhere.
everyone's trying to, like, spin things, manipulate you with their
It's
words.
like, how do we even know what's true anymore? It's overwhelming.
Exactly. But, you know, the psalm doesn't just point fingers outwards. It's like, it's also a challenge to look, you know?
Plain word.
Yeah. Are we being honest with ourselves? Are we actually looking for truth even when it's uncomfortable?
Right, because it's easy to get caught up in, judging everyone else.
Totally.
Yeah.
But maybe Psalm 12 is saying, like, hey, check your own heart first. Make sure you're not the one being all, like, manipulative and dishonest.
For sure. But, it's not all doom and gloom.
Right. Thank goodness.
The psalm, it doesn't just leave us hanging in the darkness, right?
So, what happens?
Well, there's this shift, right? It's like after all that outcry, all that darkness, God speaks.
Ooh.
And the
yeah.
whole tone changes. Suddenly, it's not about those slick, deceptive words anymore. Now it's powerful verbs. Spring into action. Provide safety. It's like, this is a God who sees what's going on, who hears those who are hurting.
And he's ready to do something about it.
Exactly. He's not just going to sit back and watch.
That's, like, incredibly reassuring. I mean, how does that make you feel, knowing there's this, like, force for good?
Hopeful, definitely. Even when things are messed up, there's something bigger, something stronger, fighting for, justice and truth.
Yeah, for sure. But, okay, there's this one part I have to ask about. The
Yeah.
psalm compares God's words to, like,
Silver.
yes, silver that's been purified in a furnace. What's that all about?
It's a powerful image, right?
Totally.
It's about, like, purity and value. So silver, it's precious, right? But it often has impurities mixed in. So to get to that true value, it needs to be refined, like burned in a furnace to get rid of the stuff that doesn't belong.
So the furnace is like this intense heat that makes the silver even more valuable.
Exactly.
So are God's words like that? Do they need refining too? I mean, they're words.
Think of it like this. Truth can be hidden sometimes, right?
Yeah.
We can be surrounded by so much misinformation, so many lies, it's hard to see what's real. But God's words, His truth, they're like that pure silver. Solid, unchanging.
A foundation you can rely on, even when everything else is shaky.
Right.
But here's the thing. Even with God's protection, the psalm doesn't pretend like evil just disappears. The
Yeah.
wicked, they're still around. So how does that work? Like, God's goodness, but evil still exists.
That's a tension, right?
Big time.
And the psalm, it doesn't try to like sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
It's a realistic view. Good and evil, they coexist. There will always be challenges.
So then what are we supposed to do? How do we, like, live in that reality?
That's the question, isn't it? How do we hold on to truth, stay true to what we believe, even when we're surrounded by negativity?
Yeah, I mean, if the psalmist was struggling with that thousands of years ago, we're definitely not alone.
Right.
But, Psalm 12, it doesn't just leave us with the problem. It gives us a way to respond.
It does.
Like, cry out for help, seek truth, make sure our own words are honest.
And remember that we're not alone in the fight.
Right. There's a force for good out there.
Always working, always listening.
That's good. I like that. It's hopeful.
It is.
Okay, but before we wrap up, I want to leave everyone with something to chew on. We talked about those flattering lips and boasting tongues in the psalm, right? What would those be today? Like in our world right now? What are the flattering lips and boasting tongues we need to watch out for?
That's a great question.
Yeah, it's something I'm definitely going to be thinking about.
Me too.
All right, well, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.